We hear a lot about pivoting your business during the pandemic, but what does that really look like for your business? Well, let's take 5 minutes to talk to someone who's actually done it. Her name is Amber Tichenor, PhD, and she is the CEO of To Be Coaching and Consulting. Now, truth be told, I know Amber's story pretty well because she has been a member of the Rev Up Society, but there's really some inspiring aspects to her story that I wanted to share with you today. So Amber, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mary, for having me. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. I love your story. So I want to just first dive right in for people to understand, what was your business like in BC before COVID?
Well, I've been in business about 2 years. My focus is on rivalry between women and how to flip that lens to inspire collaboration over competition. And so I do workshops and one-on-one consulting and coaching as well. So it's been a mix, but that's how I've been building my business.
Sure. Okay. And COVID hits. And what was your biggest business challenge at that point?
The lack of interaction. I mean, you have Zoom, of course, which has been lovely, but in my building my business phase, a lot of it has been going out and speaking to groups. And then, you feed off of that audience. So it has turned into the lack of, big audience or group participation, which is the bigger struggle. And since I focus on female rivalry, women aren't together as much right now, even though I know it's still there behind the scenes, but it kind of is not on the forefront as much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the interaction just totally shifted. So how did you pivot your business during the pandemic?
Well, I've always had a laundry list of things I've wanted to do. And I thought, okay, so while I have this time, how can I pivot or look at different angles? So rather than focus on a whole list, I thought, let's pull out 1 to 2 things. And the first one is I had started writing a book, but I thought, let's get that bad boy done. It's there, let's get her done. And the second one is expanding my network and growing that. So with those, and I've been doing that by guesting on podcasts.
So those were the 2 big things.
Yeah.
That's what you've decided to focus on. All right. Yeah. So how has it gone?
Well, I wrapped up the book. So in terms of the writing part, and which is a huge, woohoo!
That's huge. Head down, really, you hadn't, and it's taken you the lion's share of the last several months to just really get that done, which is not unusual.
Yeah, it's taken that amount of time. 11 chapters are complete. There's still obviously more work to do, but it's with the editor. That feels huge, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
so,
congrats.
Yeah. And I've been on a few podcasts, so that has also been another check. So
yeah. Well, and having this book, how come you wanted to write this book? How is it going to help you in your coaching and consulting?
Well, it explains the phenomenon that I'm talking about in depth, because a lot of people they know of female rivalry, but they think it's a cat fight or women being dramatic. And so this really dives in to the ins and outs of what is going on, how it can impact businesses, how it can impact relationships. And it doesn't just happen in a working environment. For women, nothing is out of bounds. And so it explains what the signs are, how to look for it, how to overcome it, and what you can do to ensure it doesn't happen to you or in your business. So there's a couple different angles it focuses on.
Well, one of the things I think is really cool about you deciding to write a book and to spend this time really focused on it and having that heads down approach is that you positioned yourself as a thought leader, and now you have this really big credibility piece called a book. Now, I know though that pivoting, personally or professionally, is challenging, right? So how did you stay courageous in this process?
I have to say, having the Rev Up Society has been amazing, because I look back not even 6-7 months ago, I didn't know a bunch of these women that now we've had virtual happy hours. It's been a support system, and we're all building our businesses at different stages or phases, but we all can relate. And I think that outlet has let me know I'm not alone in what I'm doing, but it's a support in this time when it can feel so very isolating. So you know that you still have this connection.
So I got to ask you, what's
Yep.
one piece of advice that you would offer to anyone listening today about pivoting their business?
Don't get stuck in black and white. You know, it's easy to have a focus and think that's exactly what you want to be. But when life throws you curveballs, which with COVID or just dealing with change in general, when we're not in a pandemic, there's a lot of insight in the gray. And so that can help you find something that maybe is unexpected, but might be a blessing in disguise.
Hey, thank you so much for spending some time today to share your 5-minute pivot story.
Thank you, Mary, for having me.